My name is Beatrice Edu. Thank you very much for joining us. Minister for Environment, Science and Technology and Innovation, Mahama Yariga, says there's nothing wrong with the outgoing NDC government making new recruitments. Member of the NPP team on the presidential transition team, Yao Safo-Mafu, had alleged the government was recruiting people and signing new contracts with less than a month to hand over power to the new government. But speaking to Inshirado on Joy FM Super Morning Show this morning, Mr. Ayariga said government is only doing what it is constitutionally mandated to do.
I think that some of them are matters of fact. So you cannot deny that there's recruitment going on. But recruitment is good. I mean, the incoming government campaign on jobs for Ghanaians. And so if your campaign message is that let's create jobs for Ghanaians, and even before you take over, jobs are being created, I'm wondering why you should encourage it. You should promise to create more when you take over, unless you just want you to be the ones given the jobs. And I think that it's neither here nor there, because you've won the elections anyway. And so whatever the case, you will take over on the 7th of January. So if you campaign on the message of let's create jobs, let Ghanaians have jobs, and then there are opportunities to recruit, and we are recruiting people, I think that you shouldn't have an issue with that, especially recruitments done by the security agencies, because really it's not the ministers who are doing the recruitment. It is the services who are doing the recruitments, and the services are very professional bodies, and they conduct their affairs very professionally. And I'm very, very sure that there's very, very minimal interference by any politician, because they will not permit it anyway. So those are issues that I think they shouldn't be complaining so much about.
Do you think that the legislation probably overlooked the potential to stave off what we have in the event of a transition? Should these recruitments be done anyway? Because one government may prioritize a specific area to increase the number of workers in, and another government would also have a different priority area. So yeah, great. The NPP may have campaigned and say we're going to create jobs, but maybe your area where you're increasing, this current administration's increasing in recruitment, is not necessarily where they will prioritize. So that could be a problem.
No, that shouldn't be a problem, because this government, as I keep saying on almost every network, has a mandate that terminates on the 6th of January. On the 7th, we hand over. From now till the 6th of January, we are to continue implementing our policies and programs. And clearly, we have a responsibility where, for instance, there's a need for recruitments. And don't forget that these recruitments take place based on the request of the different services. So if you go and check the record, that they requested for the recruitment, and we have approved the recruitment. And sometimes we hassle over the numbers because of financial clearance. And also remember that we have an IMF program that is ongoing, based on which we have been very limited in terms of our capacity to take on additional public workers. So this is something that we committed to do. And I recall, to be frank with you, that these recruitments discussions and approvals actually preceded the elections. It just happened that because of the elections, a few things were put on hold, people were busy, and so the services held on to these exercises. And also just before the elections, it would have looked like you were also trying to just throw in that to win cheap political points and all that.
What is the urgency in bringing in a new NCC boss or a Shraj boss between now and January 7th? 18 days more in office. If you don't appoint a Shraj boss, don't you think that timing creates a lot of vacuum and room for people to start thinking, okay, this is probably some reward for loyalty, especially knowing that the Shraj job has a security of tenure?
Well, I mean, that is what the Constitution says. The Constitution says that the President shall appoint the Shraj boss and do so in consultation with the Council of State. And he shall do so whilst President. So up to a day before becoming the ex-president, he can do that.
The latest two appointees to the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, SHRAJ, and National Commission of Civic Education, NCCE, are expected to be sworn in by the President at the Flagstaff House anytime soon. And we'll bring you excerpts of that ceremony soon as it is through. Now, Parliament is resuming sitting this morning after a long break. The session is the last for the year 2016. After this sitting session, a number of the members of the House will not come back in the next administration, which is the 5th Parliament of the 4th Republic, following at the loss of their seat in the December 7 elections. A number of new entrants will, however, be making their ways to the floor of the House following their victory in the elections. Among some of the bills to be considered is the Right to Information Bill. While we await that debate, let's speak to my colleague Elton John Brobe, our parliamentary correspondent, to gauge the mood of the House and expectations ahead of today's business. Hello, Elton.
Yes, Beatrice.
What is happening around the chamber this morning?
Well, business has yet to start, so the chamber is virtually empty. I've come across just a few members of parliament, even within the foyer of parliament. It appears to me that some are yet to make their way here. And but the speaker is in now, but has yet to come to the chamber. Once he's in the chamber, business will start. And going through the order of the day, it appears to me that the only thing worth considering today will be the Right to Information Bill, which is at the consideration stage. Now, I've also perused the business statement for this week. They've indicated their resolve to take the Right to Information Bill to third reading on Friday. If they are successful, then we can anticipate a passage of the Right to Information Bill on Friday. That is the only, item under consideration as far as the other people in the business statement is concerned. But there are several agreements, loans that the House will be considering this particular term. Key among them is a project implementation agreement on a power purchase agreement between Car Power Ghana Limited and the Electricity Company of Ghana for the supply of 225 megawatts power ship in Tema and Secondary. There's also an agreement between government of Ghana and the Africa and Middle East Resources Investment Group for the repowering and operation of the T3 power plant. There's also a supplier credit agreement between the government of Ghana and WOW West Africa International Company Limited. And this, the amount of money is $86.2 million for the supply and sale of machine implements and accessories for the establishment of Agricultural Mechanization Center in Ghana. So these are some of the papers to be presented today. The rule is that once these papers are presented, it will be forwarded to the appropriate committee for them to consider and report back to the House, for the House to take a decision on some of these agreements.
And when is this session expected at the end?
Hello, Vishi.
Yes, when is this session expected to end?
Well, they are expected to rise on Friday and then come back on the 4th of January 2017. And then the presentation of the State of the Nation address will be on the 5th of January. And then on the 6th of January, the 6th Parliament will be dissolved.
All right, thank you very much, Elton Brobe, speaking to us live from Parliament. And of course, we'll bring you more as and when we get the information on it. Now, one of the four names said to be in the reckoning for the position of Speaker in the next Parliament, Freddy Blay says he finds the thought flattering as well as exciting. The former MP for Elembele and acting national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, along with former second Deputy Speaker Professor Michael Quay, MP for Sekendi Papa Usu Ankoma, and his colleague from Esekando Ketan Joe Gate are said to be the most likely to succeed Speaker Do Ajaho. The eventual successor will be known before for the swearing-in of the new parliament on the 7th of January. Though very happy to continue in his acting national chairman position until the NPP decides at Congress, Mr. Blay says he will welcome the job of Speaker. He spoke with Geordie's editor, Jifa Bampo, who asked him what the future holds for him.
That's a very interesting question. I've not really thought of that. But what's next for me? As an individual, yes, I'm part of a team. That is the National Executive Committee. I represent the chair. As you say, I'm acting chair. National Executive will take decisions relating to what is going on. What is important, essentially, is that we should be prepared to take over the government. And we have a manifesto. The president-elect and his vice went around and preaching very well, emphasizing issues that we wanted to raise, how to tackle the economy, how to reduce inflation, how to empower, or if you try to increase the value of the city and make the economy grow the size of the economy, give jobs particularly. These are some of the challenges that we think are on our way, and I believe we should, as a party, support our government, support the administration, ensure that what we promise the people of this country will be in a position to deliver. That's what's most essential on our mind.
You're acting chairman, your position was never exactly confirmed.
Yeah,
what does that say?
The Constitution says we go to Congress once a year, unless we call a special Congress for it. But as I'm comfortable with that for now, it's within 1.5 or 2 years maximum, we shall go back to the people, to the party, and see what can be done. I don't think that is a big problem at all. Of course, there are people who were also voted for and been suspended as to what to do with them and so forth and so on.
That will be dealt with at the next Congress?
National Executive Committee will make a decision that it belongs on suspension as to whether the suspension will be lifted, how it is, and so forth, how to do. President-elect has also spoken about it, tapping minds as to how to bring. We want to bring unity. We want to have people who are of like mind, who are essentially party men, to come along and let us all build the party.
It's interesting you talk about, everyone coming together, the president-elect talking about tapping minds. You're a fertile legal mind, one who'd been in parliament really long time, served 3 terms as MP, became second deputy speaker, became first deputy speaker. Are your should I say, looking glasses looking towards parliament?
That's a very difficult thing. You've cornered me. I ordinarily, that's why I have worked in public politics. I would have loved to be there. It's interesting, but a lot doesn't depend on me. This is a process I believe is going on. As I talk to you now, Parliament is gathering. We have 175 members in Parliament, a very comfortable majority, and it would be nice to work with them.
But I understand that lots of names have come up. I understand that you're in there as well. How does that make you feel?
Well, I'm flattered. It's exciting that people mention your name about what you could also do, the contribution. But let me emphasize that I'm a soldier in the army. Wherever I find myself, in whatever capacity, I'm ready to serve my nation, serve my party. I have been privileged to serve in a position of first vice and then, of course, acting chair. Fortunately, we've come to power. I feel excited. I feel that I'm blessed that it's happened.
You feel you're in the right place at the right time?
It's exciting. Come to think of it, Ghanaians wanted a change. The change has come. I am part of it. I'm part of that history. And that in itself makes me feel that it's an honor to serve my party, an honor to serve my country, an honor that it didn't happen bad. Nothing went bad. That, on the contrary, we've come out of it victorious. The battle that belonged to the Lord has been faithful to the people of this country and to our party. And I am also happy and proud.
You're also watching News Desk on Joy News. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories. And you're still watching News Desk on Joy News. President-elect Nana Addo Akufo-Addo has committed himself to improving the standard of living of Ghanaians in the next 4 years. The president-elect says he expects dealing with the problem to be challenging, but is confident of a better future for Ghanaians. Nana Akufo-Addo is currently on a visit to Nigeria, where he has been meeting government officials there.
It's important that such links are established between our peoples and our leaders. They give confidence to our populations that we're working to try and resolve their problems and help them progress in their lives. I'm extremely concerned that the years ahead of me, the next 4 years, we should see a marked improvement in the living standards of the people of Ghana. The Ghanaian economy has taken, unfortunately, a hit in these last 3 or 4 years. But we believe that with discipline, with hard work, and with the correct set of policies, we should be able to bring our country back on the road to prosperity and to progress. Ghana is a country of tremendous resources and potential. We're 26 million people, and we have a diverse structure of economy, of natural resources. And if they are properly harnessed, I believe that we will be in a position to deliver a good life to our citizenry. And that is the main focus of myself and the government that I intend to lead.
And you're still here on News Desk on Joy News. Let's now go to the Shai Osu constituency, where my colleague Derek Ekosam has been speaking to the voters after the elections.
Of new faces, at least 125 of them. We'll also have a lot of females making an appearance in the August House for the first time. One of them is Linda Oklu, who is Member of Parliament elect for the Shai Osu Doku area. As a first timer, people expected a lot of things from her. And so I want to speak to her constituents. I'm here at the Yesutrare Junction, one of the areas that make up a constituency. I want to speak to people here and ask them what do they expect from their new MP. Good morning, you're on Joy News.
Thank you. Good morning.
I hope you're fine.
Yeah.
What's your name?
My name is Mr. Jane Ajisuo.
Great. And you are a member of this constituency?
Yes, sir.
So you have a new MP as a female. Were you expecting the lady to win?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How come?
Oh, because it's our first time to have a female candidate, and we know because she's a woman, she will be doing better than the man who passed. Who won for the other times.
Okay, so it means that you expect a lot of things from her. Tell me, what are some of the things you want her to do?
Really, our communities don't have access to toilet facilities, others also potable water, a lot of things, extension of electricity.
Okay, so let's take them one by one. Let's talk about the access to toilet facilities. Why do you think it's the MP's job to get you a toilet facility? You have a home. I think it's prudent that you get your own toilet facility.
Really, but also it demands assistance, sometimes from the assembly, and also not only those in our houses, but the public ones. We don't have them at a lot of places. So we know through her she can organize so that we have them. So that's why we expect it from her.
Okay, so when she gets you the toilet facilities, you'd also want her to get you potable water. I know that, for example, in Yesutrare, it's very difficult to get good drinking water. Yes, and it has been the case over the years. So yes, why do you wait till this woman comes in before you want to table this motion before her?
Oh, for a long time we have been telling the MPs, but they are not doing it for us. So this time around, because we know if it's a mother, she take care of the house. She didn't do for somebody or give the food to other children and leave some behind. So we know that as she is a woman, she will take care of all those things. That is why we are assuring that as she comes now, she will do all for us.
Okay, so I'll come back to you, but let me speak to this young man as well. You also in this constituency, you have a lot of things you expect the MP to do for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So run me through some of them.
We are lack of so many things in our community. One, something like our roads. And secondly, too, we need
about the roads first, because I have used this road before 4 years ago. I've come back this time around, and it's still the same. And it's a terrible thing if you are traveling on this road, especially if you don't have a good car to use.
Yeah, that is the most worst things. We need the roads to be constructed. Our roads and things are very bad. It's less. The villagers.
The villagers cannot come to town.
They cannot come to town. The food and things are remaining in the village. So we need the MP to come and help us with our road.
What are some of the crops you produce from here?
Mostly we have rice farm, okras and peppers and other things. We produce corns too. With so many things here. Because here the land is good for farming, so we produce so many things in our community.
So aside the roads, what are the other problems you want her to help you solve?
So many. We want our car stations here, especially at our village, Aswara Junction. We don't have car station, and we need SS2 as a secondary school for our village here. So we have a lot.
Okay, so I want to speak to another person here. He made mention of the fact that you don't have schools, and so how do you educate your children?
Oh, one school boom le say school ya no papako. Ne wa problem ne ya go peji wa hia market nge mami, wa be market nge mami. Wa be station papa nge mami ne chuka wa station nge wa be station nge mami. Wa be public toilet nge mami. Like come ya toilet to my bush. Kenu bo ba yola my toilet le bush ne my toilet nge. Wa ne no kunu wa wosi wa be no kula wa be no ko ne. Wa munyo oji no ne.
At this point, I think I need the help of a translator. Can you please translate what he said into English for me?
Yes, sir. Thank you. He is saying that our market, we don't have any market. And as I said earlier on, our public toilet at the main junction here, if you want to go to your private, unless you enter into the bush, and it is very dangerous. Now that the place is developing, we need it very urgently. And he's talking about our taxi station. We don't have a better place for it. We want her to assist us. That's only what he said.
Okay, so now aside now you're speaking about markets, roads, potable water, and other things. But you are a young man. You are not concerned about jobs?
Yeah, I'm concerned about jobs. That is, we want something like factories. Factories.
What type of factories?
Something rice factory. Rice factory. And normally we produce mangoes here. So we need something like mango factory too. A whole lot.
You want to convert the raw material into fruit juice?
Yeah, at our community. That is what we want here. Our community want to convert the raw material into fruit juice and things, so that the community to go on. The community is not going on.
Why do you say the community is not going on? What are some of the things that are hindering your progress?
Because we are lack of roads, and electricity in some of our villages. We are lack of so many things here. So we need those things to come.
Okay, so as members of the community, you have a lot of things you expect the MP to do for you, but what are you also doing as members to help her in that regard?
Thank you. That is, we let her know of our problems. So even during the campaign, she also promised that when she comes, she will do it for us in the support of the people in the community, because she cannot do it alone. So all the time we only let her know about the problems, so that we also help wherever she needs our help as a labor. We will support her in doing it.
Okay, I want to speak to you as well. You are a young lady, and it's a woman who is who is your next member of parliament. You have high hopes, right?
Yes.
What are some of the things you want from her?
Okay, for me, I've completed SHS for some time now. I'm still in the house because I don't have any job. Because this place, we need some things, we need work to do. We've lacked job opportunities here. And my junior sister who is attending JHS too, they lack libraries, ICT labs, they don't have science labs. So all the times they suffer a lot. They suffer a lot during examination because they lack all those things. So we need her to help us with those job opportunities and the labs in the school for our junior sisters so that they can move on well, they can learn very well in the school. That is what I.
Were you expecting the woman to win as a woman yourself?
Yes.
Okay, so
because I'm also a woman, I need her to win. I know how she feels about us because I know how my mom feels about me very well. So I know she can do that. That is why I want her to win.
Okay. So high expectations for people here at Shaiwo Sudoku Constituency. A lot of things they want the Member of Parliament to do for them. They've spoken about roads. They're asking for good toilet facilities. They're asking for potable water to drink as well. Let's see what happens. We keep our tabs on this constituency and see how it progresses as the year.
Indeed, Derek echoes some there. Thank you very much for that good job there. Now, a new project is seeking to reduce the impact of cookstove smoke on fuel wood users. Toxic smoke is responsible for half of all deaths in children and the 5 in Ghana. In a new 2-part documentary, Joel News' Justice Bade visited the central regional town of Bontrace to see how these cookstoves work.
My name is Shilapia Kubi, the Marketing and Relations Manager for Microfin Rural Bank.
Sheila works with women in Gary processing in a small town called Bontrace.
Microfin Rural Bank partnered SNV in order to improve the lives of the clients we deal with. We realized that their cook stove, the improved cook stove, is a bit okay for the health of our clients. Okay, I mean, it looks at some of the health hazards that our clients were going through when they were using the old or the traditional way of smoking gari. This time round, they have a bigger stove, the pan is big. You are able to sit at the edge of the pan to fry your gari. If you want to stand or sit or lie.
The work she does is under the Productive Use of Energy in Agro-Processing Initiative, a project by the Dutch Development Organization SNV. The project seeks to cut down the use of inefficient cook stoves that is responsible for nearly 17,000 deaths yearly, mainly from toxic smoke. Lack of funding is what stands between users like these women and improved cook stoves. So the project works with local banks like Microfin to grant credit for its purchase. This is a farming community that is heavily reliant on agro-processing. And so places like these where women can come and process their gari could easily be the heartbeat of the local economy. And it's the reason why the source of energy could be crucial. And with the involvement of local banks to make it possible for these women to purchase these improved cook stoves on credit, it's not just about aid money, but it's also about organizations helping local economies to boost trade.
Ama ejana ndosa je no go kwa na che galina na yidi enye hita anai o hita ejana ko owo mu na ode yi bifi no ka je ka kredi ndi itonye bede 100,000 kra botum da chu gali bag ya ya ide ya ko ni botum da chu bada kutukuna basa ndi on nyane zi oboye pa o mama expenses no.
These new stoves are able to reduce fuel wood waste by more than 60%. This is especially for the hundreds of thousands of Ghanaians involved in agro-processing. It is important that the needed support is given to scale this up. Justice Badu, Joy News, Bontrace in the Central Region.
Incidents of careless driving and unsafe road practices may have been directly or indirectly responsible for the deaths of 44 people between December 7 and 11 this year. According to the Motor Transport and Traffic Directorate, a significant number of the deaths had to do with supporters jubilating following the declaration of the results of the 2016 elections. The National Road Safety Commission is therefore calling on political parties to caution their supporters to be modest in such instances.
In September this year, the National Road Safety Commission met with political parties to dialogue on measures to mitigate motor accidents prior to the December polls. The dialogue was intended to provide platform for the commission to sensitize political parties to educate their members and supporters on road safety issues to help reduce accidents that occur during political campaigns. But that did not eliminate road crashes between 7th and 11th December, which falls within the electioneering period. A total of 157 vehicles were involved in road crashes. Staff officer with the Motor Transport and Traffic Directorate, DSP Eduboin, says political parties must caution their supporters to be mindful of road traffic regulations within such periods.
The total cases that we recorded were 100 vehicles involved. That is from 7th to 11th December. Vehicles involved were 157, 157. Fatal cases were 22, 22. Serious, we have 41, 41. Minor, 37, 37. Pedestrian knockdown, we have 42. And then persons killed, we have 44, 44.
The executive director for the National Road Safety Commission, Engineer May Obiwa, also raised concerns over the high rate of road crashes within this year. As of the end of November 2016, a total of 11,378 road crashes have been recorded, resulting in 1,990 deaths. According to her, the situation exceeds the projected number of deaths by 38.26%.
A total of 11,378 road traffic crashes had been recorded in the country, involving 17,746 vehicles. The total number of casualties stood at 12,144, and this is made up of 1,990 deaths and 10,154 injuries. Compared with the same period in 2015, the reported cases, vehicle involved injuries and fatalities increased by 14.88%, 14.45%, 20.19%, and 33.74% respectively. The Commission has observed with worry some disturbing road use practices by celebrants during the declaration of results last week by the Electoral Commission. It is our expectation that we shall observe sound road safety practices while we celebrate the victory of our candidates. The country needs our energies and skills to make our conditions better.
The National Road Safety Commission says it is collaborating with key stakeholders to deploy some volunteers at major intersections, terminals, toll booths and strategic areas in the country to engage motorists and pedestrians during the festive season. The Commission also presented some traffic enforcement equipment to the Motor Traffic and Transport Directorate to help in their work.
And when we come back, Emmanuel Abuajibiafe will join us with the latest in the world of business. Stay with us.